depends on our time zone. I'm glad to see you everyone in our platform. Today I'm going to represent some kinds of information about online trainings, how to organize them, and also what kind of advantages, disadvantages have online and offline trainings. Lucine, can I share my screen? Do I have an opportunity?
Of course, just a minute. I will make you a host.
Okay.
Please check it now.
Okay, thanks. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Today I am going to represent you modern issues of teacher training on the virtual platform. Now a little about me. I have my MAs in psychology and in foreign languages, and now I am also a fellow applicant at Armenian State Pedagogical University. I have about more than 50-year experience in teaching English as a foreign language and second language, and also now I am a freelance trainer and ESP trainer. I have participated in different kinds of international conferences and have published different kinds of articles referring to teaching English as a foreign language, teaching English to young children, learners, and of course about the teacher training. Sorry. What are trainings? What are they considered to be? First of all, training is the process of education and skill development that teacher trainers undergo as a part of their formal teacher education process. They are the courses and qualifications that teachers usually need for their achievement, for their goals, or as a promotion of their career. And also they are one of courses that are largely designed with a short-term or immediate purpose in mind, because we have different kinds of trainings which have different kinds of aims, process, and also different kinds of results. Teacher trainings can give us as knowledge, as can be considered as knowledge, as experience, and also as achievements, which depends on the goals and also about depends on the aims of teachers. Teacher trainings, if we have some kinds of teacher trainings, we always try to first of all, we try to pay attention what kind of benefits can give us such kind of trainings, because every training has its aims. First of all, it can be as to introduce new ways of teaching, to develop teacher new skills for their work, and also to give new ideas and knowledge, and also to broaden their minds, because every teacher, as we have mentioned, has different kinds of minds, different kinds of aims about trainings, and also different kinds of attitudes, cultural experience, because if we take part in different kinds of trainings, especially online trainings, we can just share our cultural experience about teaching issues, and also about teaching peculiarities, because teachers of different countries, they have different kind of issues and different kinds of experience. Maintaining interest and involvement, and also personal involvement, integrating language and experience, language in enrichment, and also valuable authentic material. Because sometimes there are many kinds of trainings when we just attend, we just get different kinds of materials, which are very unique and which are prepared by the organizers of the trainings. There are some kinds of advantages and disadvantages about online and offline trainings. And first of all, I would like just to give you an opportunity to share your thoughts about advantages and disadvantages of offline and online trainings. Do you have any kind of ideas about it?
Could not see your presentation.
So,
If you
Alice,
have
do
any
you
kind
want the participants share their ideas in the chat box now? Or they can do it just
yes,
unmuting their microphone?
or they can, yes, they can just share, they can just mute their, yes, unmute their
Microphones.
microphones and tell share their experience.
Okay.
Okay, any ideas? What do you find difficult in teacher trainings? What challenges do you see? I think, Alice, sometimes it is, I mean the time which is given for training is too short to learn everything you need for quality teaching. So let's go ahead, Alice.
Okay. For example, if we have one-day trainings, it's a very short time for us because in this day we can just share our experience, our ideas, and so on. In order to get more experience and more materials, information, or just skills, we need more time for trainings. That's why I think it's a little difficult just to get some kinds of experience or just materials or just skills to become more experienced in one day in a short time trainings. Okay, we have some kind of thoughts from Hugo. Greetings from Mexico, where he just shares his experience about that. In my experience, online training is good. However, the organic interaction between teachers is missing. Yes, we can just say about online teaching that first of all, the disadvantage is about the interaction because we don't see each other. But on the other hand, it also has its advantages when we just have online teaching. I shall continue if you don't have any.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
so, yeah. I just wanted to say that we can't see your screen. Yes, thanks.
Now you see.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I just want to show you about the particularities of face-to-face offline training. First of all, it is standard for centuries because many of us, especially in many of countries, for example, many years we have just got used to standard to face-to-face trainings. That's why because of this situation, when we have COVID-19, we had to transfer into online training. It just gave us some kinds of difficulties, how to organize online trainings, etc. Then we have for face-to-face training, live interaction between trainer and the teacher. Teachers have to present physically in the classroom at a specific time and place. Organized studies, real way of learning. Teachers take the time to learn something. Because if we have, for example, online learning, we can just switch off a video or just some kinds of audio or just copy the material and send to students and say, oh, you can just do it, please. In the end, share with me. But if we have, for example, face-to-face training, it has some kinds of difficulties because in this case, the teachers have to organize, to plan point by point their lesson plans in order to have effective training. But what refers to online trainings, what kind of peculiarities do they have? First of all, it requires more self-discipline and it will benefit the learners. Makes teachers pay more attention to their learning path. Teachers can join by internet when and where they want. Teachers don't need to spend time on resources because there are different kinds of resources in the internet, and we can just download them or copy them and send our pupils. Or just about the videos or just about the audios. If we have planned something but something then has gone wrong, we can just change everything and find something from the internet, and in the end have a good lesson, an effective lesson. I just want to share with you about the online trainings. Do you have any kind of ideas about what kind of types online trainings have? What kind of types do they have? Are they only called online trainings, or just they have considered, are just they considered to be as online trainings? Do you know any types of online trainings? You can write in the chat if you have any kind of ideas.
I think we can mention refreshing courses, retraining courses.
Okay. As I see, we don't have any kind of ideas from you. Okay, in this case, I shall just continue and try to show you the main types: asynchronous, synchronous, and hybrid courses and trainings. There are many different kinds of methodological books where you can just find two types, the first two types. But the third type is considered to be a novelty because it is a mixture of the first and second kinds of trainings. What are they? First of all, let's pay attention to the asynchronous trainings. First of all, not in real time. Content and assignments are provided. Discussion blocks are effective for students who are busy, because in this case we just have different kinds of assignments which are represented in the course or in the training course, and the students who are very busy, such kind of courses have some kinds of limit time, and during, for example, it can be for a week, it can be for a month, and during this period the students just have different kinds of opportunity just to enter the blog, to take part in different kinds of discussion blogs, and in the end to get some kinds of result of it and get the certificate. But what refers to the second, it has some kinds of, this type has some kinds of disadvantages, because in many times many students who are especially very busy, they don't just get time to participate in it, to be an active participant in the blogs and in the discussions. What refers the second part, the second type? Students meet from time to time, webinars, meetings, to participate in a course from a distance. It's another opportunity to just to be involved in online trainings, because in this case you have to you have some kind of mixed time, a fixed time, and you have to just join and to participate in it. And it depends on from how active the student is, how often and how active he can be during the lesson. According to it, in the end, they can pass some kinds of exam or just test or quizzes, some kind of such kind of activities, and in the end get their certificate. It's very useful one, because you can see your trainer. If we have, for example, the first type of online trainings, in this case we don't see our trainers. We can just write them if we have some kinds of questions then. But what refers to meetings, to have some kinds of interaction from distance, we don't have. But for the second one we have, because every week twice or three times or maybe 5 times a week. The trainers organize different kinds of webinars or just meetings, and during these meetings they can just discuss different kinds of questions that they have about the course, about how to pass the quiz or test, etc. Nowadays, we have the third type of it, which is called as hybrid courses or trainings. These are the mixtures of online and offline classes, meetings several times in a semester, computer-based meetings. For example, you can attend the trainings once or twice a week, go face-to-face meetings, or just meet your trainer if you have any kind of project or any kind of questions about your trainings. And what refers to computer-based meetings, they can be quizzes, they can be tests or final quizzes or such kind of different kinds of projects or essays which are given by your trainer, and you have to fill in them or pass or just write some kinds of tests and send them. These kind of courses and trainings are very beneficial because in this case you can not only meet your trainers, but also you can just do some kinds of projects. If you have some kinds of questions about your projects, you can just apply your trainer, go and see him or her, and get some all the answers to your questions that you have about the project. It's a new one that is used in many countries, especially during this time when we had to stay at home and do everything from home. That's why I think it's the best solution of online courses. Now I just want to speak about which online training is preferable. I just want to share my experience about it because when I just started attending different kinds of trainings, at first they were offline trainings. First of all, I just pay attention when I just want to choose a training. In order, the first thing that I pay attention, it is about where it is held or who is the organizer of the training. The next one is the topic of the webinar, meeting, or just conference, because sometimes we just attend the conference or the webinar without paying attention to what kind of issues are there discussed, or is it necessary for me or not. Because sometimes we just need certificate. In order to get certificate to add in our portfolio and say, oh, you know, I have attended this conference. But if someone just asks you, what have you taught from this conference? We can't answer because in this case, the participation of conference webinar is more important for us than, for example, the information or the materials that we get in the end of it. First of all, then we can just every webinar or meeting have some kind of little short information about the issues that is going to be spoken during the meeting. That's why we can just explore, research, search some kinds of information about this, or we can sometimes I just search some kind of information about some kinds of any topic that is going to be spoken during the conference, in order to just be familiar. In order, if there are some kinds of questions, I can just ask the trainer, or I can just, if I have any kind of suggestions, I can just suggest the trainer in order to get more information about the topic. About the online, how preferable is offline and online trainings, especially online trainings. I have done some kinds of research in Armenia among Armenian teachers, and also I have some kinds of results from abroad from my colleagues. And according to this, I want to share with you the results that I have got in the end of my topic. First of all, about the advantages that we have got from our researches. What are the advantages? According to my research, 45% of teachers, they just say that it is flexible online trainings. About 25% they say that feeling of autonomy, because we have many kinds of teachers who are teachers of English, but sometimes they are just ashamed of speaking in English. Among during the training, especially when we have, for example, strong, if we can say, just strong specialists who have different kinds of qualifications, different kinds of trainings, different kinds of certificates, and also, for example, have attended in different kinds of international conferences and have more experience. I have such kind of experience. For example, when I participate in it, I have found that many teachers, when we have group works with them, they are considered to be shy more in order to speak, because they say we are afraid of making mistakes, and we when just say it's a training, we can just do different kinds of mistakes, because the result is more. We expect to share, to get more experience, skills, and also information about the topic. Then that's why we shouldn't just be ashamed of speaking. And we have 15% about that it is modern and that it is self-motivation, because in some cases, if we want, some teachers say that if we want to be a good teacher, we should follow to our digital technologies, to some novelties, to use more technologies in order to be a good teacher. They just explain it. I want to speak about the disadvantages. About 35% said it is plagiarism, because they, in many cases, many online trainers just copy some kinds of information from internet, or take some kinds of information from different trainers, different training courses, different training organizations, and put in their course in order just to pay attention to their course, just to have more participants in it. That's why they don't like online learnings. 20%, 25%, they said that learning process can't be monitored, because in online, as we know, there are many different kinds of webinars. When we just switch off our screens and mute our microphones and go do some kinds of work, just listening or not listening, and in the end we just can go out from the breaking room or the webinar or from Zoom in order just to get our certificate. And 25% we also have cheating, because they say there are many different kinds of different information which is not true. You can just think about something, do something, and represent the information, but you can't see where can you just say what to do. In order, just 15% said that it is isolation. It means that we can be isolated in a room, do something, there is no interaction, and it's not true. That's why they just mentioned the main points which are considered to be as disadvantages. And also, I have some kinds of questionnaires for teachers who wanted just about the usage of online learning, online teaching. They just say, if we just look at the diagrams, we can just say that 35% of teachers, here we have before COVID-19, during and after it. Before this situation, only the 35% of the teachers have attended online trainings. But during the COVID-19, about 90% of teachers, which means a great maybe chance for them, opportunity for them just to attend different kinds of online trainings. And after it, what's the result? That after COVID, when I just asked, will you attend any kinds of online trainings or online learning courses? Only 65% of teachers, they just agreed to attend because we are tired of just attending different kinds of online learning, teaching or training courses. But many of them, as we have, if we compare before and after, we can see that we have the majority of teachers just are glad to participate in such kind of online trainings. And about what do you expect to get in the end of the trainings? I just want to ask you, do you have any kind of ideas about the expectations that you just have to get, or just you want to get in the end of the training course, online training courses? Do you have any kinds of ideas?
Alice, maybe you can repeat your question.
Okay, what kind of expectations do you usually have or do you usually want to get in the end of the training courses when you just attend online trainings?
What expectations do you usually have?
Yeah, here we have teachers improve the ability of using it in education to gain knowledge and use the knowledge in my own setting. Okay, here I have some kind of questions, and just I want to.
Yeah, Sebastian mentioned some things. They'll listen, learn, and localize to use it in own settings. And something else from Hugo. By Hugo, I usually finish my sessions and try to think where to include that in my planning.
Okay. Here we have some kinds of quotes. In learning, you will teach, and in teaching, you will learn. I just want to end with this quote, my speech. And in the end, I just want to share some kinds of maybe websites about online trainings. Some of them are free, and you can just, the second one is from Microsoft, and the first one was Future Learn. And also we have some kind of trainings from American Embassy Canvas Network. If you are familiar to it, you can just attend. There are different kinds of online trainings which have different kinds of modules. You have to pass all the modules and in the end get your certificate.
Alice, just a minute. Sorry for interrupting. I just would like to mention that our times should be soon finished. And yes, if suddenly we are interrupted, maybe we can rejoin the conference because the topic is very interesting. In case if we are interrupted, I would like to ask to rejoin for some more minutes, I think 10 or 15 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
The main materials that I just wanted to share, I have shared, Lucine, in order to just be in 40 minutes. But I just want to have some kinds of discussions. Here I have some kinds of questions that I want just to share with my colleagues. And in order to discuss with them, to have here are our questions. And also I just want to share to know some kinds of information, experience. What do they think about these questions? Do we have any ideas, thoughts?
I think some of ideas are already shared in the chat box, and I also mentioned that, of course, waiting for a certificate is a normal thing for us too. It is also mentioned in the chat box, by the way. But I think that the main thing we all are expecting is, of course, knowledge and new techniques and new, maybe, I don't know, resources. Let's see.
Can I share with my opinion?
Yes, of course.
Actually, I'm not a fan of certificates. I think it must be really practical. In my way, I'm absolutely and totally 100% a practical person. So I hate to have lots of theory in any kind of trainings. And I absolutely believe that you mentioned that you're going to share with resources. And this is like the best gift to any teacher, because you have selected the best list, yeah, as you think is the best one to share. And this is a great work from your side. I highly appreciate this. And I know that every expert, so teacher should be an expert in any kind of area, yeah, that he or she teaches. Yeah, so this is the best way to share, yeah, because you have worked on the certain area, you know better, yeah, than the others, what to share with. So this is like something is really like precious. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Luzin, I want to say something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We have about 3 minutes. Yes, you're welcome.
Okay. Today I got very nice ideas from Alice, and just today we have finished 2 days training session for 75 teachers at district level, and from Monday we are going to distribute and deliver this training about Zoom, Google Meet, Google Classroom, then Geo Meet, and these all options for online teaching to 12,000 teachers, 12,000 teachers throughout the district. And definitely Alice today's training will helpful to me and my colleagues to deliver our training. Thank you.
With great pleasure. Right.
Thank you, Alice. And we have some more questions. Question here, sorry. There are too many seminars around us, and how to choose good ones?
As I have mentioned, listener, we first of all we can just be sure what aims do we have, or what kind of expectations or results are we going to get after in the end of the trainings. First of all, and what is it effective, for example, for my thoughts, for my experience or not. Maybe I am interested, for example, in online teaching, but there is another kind of webinar or seminar which refers, for example, how effectively teach young learners, for example, English language. In this case, I can just attend, maybe steal, if we can say, just steal some kinds of thoughts or experience from this webinar, which can be used in my further webinars or in my further speeches. Then, of course, what kind of is it, and well, some kinds of modern topic or not? Because this now during this situation, COVID-19, we have different kinds of trainings which just refer to the same topics. For example, online tools for teaching online, or just we have how to organize an effective, for example, online training or online lessons. What should teachers know? Everything that we can just pay attention to. First of all, about the information, about the context of the training.
Sure, thank you so much. Alice, do you have anything more to add today? So do we need to rejoin the webinar?
I just wanted to have some kinds of
Because
discussion and have some kind of
okay,
group
okay.
work.
So let's do this way. Let's do this way. If there are people here, educators who want to rejoin us, so please do that after we are interrupted, okay?
Okay.
So
if we have some kind of, here we have someone has written that he has some kinds of experience and wanted to share as Atikur Rahman.
Yeah, from Bangladesh.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
if you allow, I can just tell.
All
okay.
dear honorable educators, also Elise. Really, I am trying to attend the seminar just for gathering knowledge about technology. And I want to say that when any educator of another country, everything they use technology for every sector. But in our country, it is very difficult to maintain technology.
Nice our meeting. In the end, we have some kinds of effective methods, some kinds of effective just lessons. In the end of the make, we can just say that we have concluded it, and now we are just preparing for our lessons, which we don't know. Can it be? Maybe they will be in September offline or online, but we are just ready for online lessons with new digital technologies. I can just add this one. Do you have any kind of ideas or questions?
Alice, I have one. What do you think? How often should we attend courses?
I think we should just attend different kinds of trainings very often, because if we just want to attend, to be familiar to novelties of teaching processes or teaching styles and methods, it just requires to attend more and more often. That's why I think maybe once or twice a month, maybe twice. There are different kinds of trainings which are held during the week. Maybe for every day you can just have a training course or a webinar which you can just attend and get more and more knowledge. Because as you more are involved in such kind of processes, such kind of trainings, you are more skillful and you are more experienced.
Yes, thank you. And another one, now new technologies have been introduced to the field of education, and can teacher education realize it fully and raise the training to the expected level? What do you think?
I have different kinds of maybe ideas about it. First of all, it depends about the peculiarities, just how you organize your online lessons. For example, if we can just take our book, say, please students, open your books on page, for example, 25. We are just going to read some kinds of text. But if you just organize your online lesson in a way that is modern, that includes more and more digital technologies, just quizzes or just tests or such kind of audio activities which are very interesting, for example, for students, I think you will have effective results either way. In the end, you will have such kind of results, because everything just depends on the lesson plans, the ways how you just organize it.
Okay, thank you. And you see, there is so much contradiction between academic subjects and life skills teaching, right? Social issues and so on. And do the courses, teacher training courses, what do you think? Do they provide teachers with knowledge how to help students to gain life skills along with academic skills? I mean, subject knowledge.
Maybe it comes from the context of the subject. For example, recently I have attended a training course where we have to just make a lesson plans in order to suit which will be suitable for online teaching, online learning. But before it, for example, I have attended another one, which was as the same as it was for just for face-to-face. And if we have, for example, while making a lesson plan for online teaching, for online lesson, most of all, I pay attention to the speaking part. Because if we have, for example, speaking part, in this case, we just give a great opportunity our learners to get more, to speak more, and also to use more words, more expression, and to be more active. And I remember when I just went another one, the context of the training was the same as it was to face-to-face training. And there was no kind of novelty, no kind of maybe new information for me in order to make my lesson plan for online, because there is a difference. The lesson plans which we have for face-to-face lessons and which we have for online lessons. And we just do everything in order to provide our students to be more and more active during online lessons.
Mm-hmm. Alice, are you going to continue your research referred to this topic?
Yes, I have different kinds of topics, and I have different kinds of researches about referring to my PhD research, and concerning to it, I have different kinds of topics which I will be glad to share with you. If
okay.
Yes,
we will be waiting. We will be eagerly waiting for the next session. Okay, educators, do you have any other questions? No questions?
Thank you so much. I am Nazmul Haq from Bangladesh. My internet is very slow for this region, sometimes disconnected, and I cannot attentively your session. Thank you so much.
I will provide you with the recording soon, okay?
Okay. Remote learning is very interesting in Bangladesh. The COVID situation, we are face this problem, and our Bangladesh teachers are uses now online teaching, Facebook, Google Meet, Zoom, Gypsy Meet, and others way. So firstly, Bangladesh teachers and social awareness people at the first time are not to receive online very good. So nowadays it is very popular. At the first in Bangladesh, the first time we are using online based classes, YouTube. We can upload our classes in YouTube and Facebook page, Messenger, and others media. Then we can send our student to show this our classes, and they reply, comment, and in this way they are our teacher are very benefited, because we can only teach the classes. We cannot see our feedback in my class. There is any critical system, any default in my lesson. Nowadays, when we can show our lesson, then we can find our fault where we can not misuse of our lesson, then we can very easily we can different from this live session, and we are a local session. So it is very good now. But in our country, the network is very low for this region. In our rural area, student cannot reach these classes very effectively. The rural area, 10% rural students are not reach these classes. So in Bangladesh nowadays many system, our government should take some process to take TV in TV, Bangladesh Sanshad TV, where broadcast some classes, primary, high school level, and Kishur Batayan, Connect Edu.bd. They are broadcasting live classes to our student. So in this way, our student and our teacher will deliver their classes to the point. We are also telecast, broadcast Facebook page, live group, and varieties way we are achieving day by day increase. And we also very happy to teach our student in live class. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you. I just can suggest you that you can just use the hybrid style of online teaching and online training. Once a week, for example, you can have online lessons, and the other days you can just have offline lesson, in order just to mix them, in order just to give an opportunity your students to get used to it.
Offline and online lesson, they are make different, but in our country, the government should take 3 days English pronounce here, about 500 or more teacher are attend the class, online class. Here the pronounce, English pronounce, English IPA.
Thank you, Nazmul sir.
Hello.
Yeah, we hear.
Can you repeat?
I want to say something, if you permit me. Nazmul sir, thank you very much.
You say something.
Yeah, if you permit me, if the honorable educator permit me, then I want to say something. I am from Bangladesh. I am Jahanara. From the very beginning of, I like to thank all the respected educators from the different parts of the world. Actually, in my country, COVID taught us a lot of things. As I believe that education has no lockdown, so our government is trying their best to continue this program. And as a teacher, we also trying our level best to reach the best to our students. And for that reason, actually, we have started online courses, online training, online classes for our students, and we are inspired to see like you as an educator, that you have started different courses and different online sessions, and we are really very much grateful to all of you that you just start such kind of program where we can actually inspire and we can learn many new tips and new things, so that we can actually give our student our best. Though it is really honestly true things that as a developing countries, we don't have enough facilities, internet facilities here, but our government is trying their level best, and we also try our best to reach our students the best thing. And as a result, the most of the students here actually now are involved in this type of classes. They can buy a limited package of internet to attend our classes, and our government also give them some facilities. as a developing countries, I think it's not a little effort, it's a great effort. But as a poor country, you know that we have some limitations in everywhere, but we try to cope with the situation. Actually, I believe that this COVID-19 situation taught us many important things. It has not only a bad side, but it also has a good side. We are actually technologically effective and technologically actually best to give the best to prepare ourselves best for our students, and this chance actually give us by this COVID situation. So we are trying our level best, but maybe the situation is not like your countries, like the first world, as a third world country, the South Asian country like Bangladesh. It's a small country. Maybe it has many problems, many difficulties, but we are trying our level best. Our government has supplying their best equipment for the students, for the teachers, time to time. And we hope for the best that inshallah we will overcome this situation and we will be able to cope with modern technologies. Actually, in our country, I think now 1/3 of the teachers don't know how to use this technology. So at first need to train the teachers, and then the teachers give their best to the students. If I don't provide the teachers properly how to use technology, then how can I expect that my students give their best? So proper learning is actually needed there. Otherwise, e-learning or remote learning is very effective in this situation. Of course, not only in this situation, we can continue it in any time, in our classroom situation or out time, or others in vacation time. We can actually continue these things, and we are very happy. As a teacher, I'm very happy, and I think I'm very proud to be a part of this conversation, and I learn a lot of things from you. Thank you very much. Thank you all the respected educators here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You can also to continue many things you can show. I'm very happy. Thank you, all over the world educator.
Sorry. I mean that we will have much more webinars, and we will share our ideas about teaching remotely. And this is a big issue for all of us now, and we are doing all our best to provide remote learning to our students, and we do our best so that we can be sure that every single child is involved, right? So we will have more webinars, and we will discuss this issue too. Today's topic was a little bit different. Okay, thank you so much to all educators who joined us today. And thank you so much to our today's speaker, Alice Durgaryan from Armenia, and her topic, Modern Issues of Teacher Training on the Virtual Platform. Thank you so much, and hope that during your research, your current research, you will introduce more results to us. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'll be glad to share.
Okay, so let's now turn on our cameras, just smile, take a shot, and say bye-bye to each other. Okay, smile. Give me a smile. Okay, thank you so much again, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Alice and Luzin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you again.
Bye-bye.